top mistakes that we make when it comes to writing of minutes, because there are those many mistakes that we make every day when it comes to writing of the minutes. Somebody called David O. Nebel, an American evangelist, once made this observation that one of the greatest, now I need you to underline this, one of the greatest failures of every generation is that it refuses to read. It refuses to read the minutes of the last meeting. One of the greatest failures of every generation is that it refuses to read the minutes of the last meetings. And by the way, we can ask the question, why is it that most people fail to read the minutes of the last meetings? And we can give few suggestions. Number one is because the last minutes are not available. Number two, maybe the minutes are not written as they should be written. That's why sometimes we don't read those minutes. And today, in today's lesson, we are going to learn what are some of those big mistakes. There are 8 of them that actually we make when writing minutes. Remember, a minute are the records of deliberations during the meeting. And we said previously that they do not need to be written during the meeting. They need to be done after the meeting. That is very, very important for us to remember. And so let's ask the question, why do we need to do the minutes? Why do we need to do the minutes? Before we jump to the 8 mistakes, writing minutes is no easy task, and we are saying, however, they are incredibly handy tools that comes with a host of advantages. And let's look at those advantages. Number one is that they increases the meeting's efficiency. Minutes increases meetings efficiency. Their availability simply means that there will be no endless discussion and back and forth. Simply, they provide a direction. They provide the direction of what was said. They provide the picture of what was said, and minutes provide the agenda to be discussed, as well as provide an almost summary of where the organization stands. Okay, very important. Number two, they provide the outline of the meeting structure. They provide the outline of meeting structure. And we have ever emphasized, and we'll keep doing it, that the chair should not call a meeting if there is no agenda. And the agenda provides the scope in which the members will be engaged in during the meeting. The agenda then provides a structure, provides a structure to your meetings and make sure everything gets discussed thoroughly but efficiently. So minutes provide the outline of the meeting structure. Number 3, minutes help not to forget important topics. Okay, they provide they help not to forget about important topics about the meeting. If you know how to take meeting minutes effectively and revise minutes notes before a meeting, you can ensure that nothing important gets left out of the discussion, because meeting recap minutes and also handed documents that can be glanced quickly before the meeting ends, just to make sure that everything has been covered. Have you, as the chair, been in a meeting and then you are like saying, oops, how did we forget that agenda? We should have discussed that. Now, minutes helps to avoid such problems. And then number 4, it increases accountability. It increases accountability. Now, the minutes of the meeting add a degree of accountability to both what was discussed during the meetings and the member themselves. Okay, the members themselves. Now, minutes give a summary. Remember, they give a summary of the resolutions made, person's task with the assignment, and the deadline given. Let's take that again. Minutes give a summary of the resolutions made, we are saying, and the person tasked with the assignments and the deadline given. Very, very important for us to be able to understand that. The kind of reporting increases accountability. With the deadlines being made visible, members can then work at the meeting to avoid being reprimanded during the next meeting. So let's dive in on how to do minutes, writing minutes. There is an excellent article which I would wish to refer you to, but done by Valuna Lagva. On the title is 5 Deadly Mistakes to Avoid when Writing Minutes. And so we have observed that lots of organizations either are unable to take good minutes or miss out to capture on crucial information. Minutes make it possible to track what needs to be done. We've said it and we'll keep on saying, remember, minutes are a summary. Minutes are a summary of the ideas, the concerns, the solutions, and the solutions that were made during the during the minute by the group. If not done well, organization will not move forward as they are supposed to be. And they need to be well kept so that they can be read again, they can be referred again when needed. Now, let's dive into those 8 mistakes that we commit when doing minutes, when writing minutes. Mistake number 1, failing to provide copies of the minutes to the members. Failing to provide copies of the minutes to the members. We cannot overestimate that it is, we will keep on repeating this, that it is very critical for the secretary, number 1, to read the minutes and the members are following on what is being read. Minutes provide a summary of what was discussed and helps to track down on what to be done. And if this is not available, if this is not really available, because of logistics reason, then the members need to be encouraged to listen to the minutes and to take notes on what has been said. Okay? And the records help the members to make any adjustments. On the discussions that are being made. Again, we are saying it helps the members to know what they need to pick from. So, mistake number 1, failing to provide copies of the minutes to the members. In this type of age, the minutes can be done and posted on the WhatsApp group, and the members can follow from their WhatsApp. Okay. Mistake number 2, writing biased minutes. Yes, you heard it. Writing biased minutes. This is the use of unprofessional language, inaccurate, or even revealed omitted crucial information. As the secretary, ensure that you capture what was discussed and the resolutions that were made. It's critical to capture the person who was tasked with the assignment and any other details that were agreed on, and use terminologies that are familiar with their persons attending the meetings. For example, let's imagine that our organization needs to hire a HR. So that is the agenda. So these are the items that can be discussed about hiring the HR. What will be the task of hiring a HR? What will be the task descriptions? So that is item number 1 under agenda, hiring of HR. Number 2, what will be the benefits? What will be the benefits in terms of salaries, in terms of allowances, in terms of a pension? Okay. Number 3, assuming that HR is a new person, is a new opening. Where will the HR be present? Which is the office? And what are the office equipments? And who will be supervising the HR? Now, the secretary needs to capture all this. And when will be the interview date? And how will the public know about this opening? Will it be through media? Will it be through WhatsApp? Or how will the public know that there is an opening? When will be the interview date? Who will be in the interviewers? Who will be the chair? Who will be the secretary? And what is the criteria for arriving at the right candidates? Those are very crucial information that does not need to miss in the next minute. And the secretary needs to be recording, to take brief notes and be able to capture them. So you can imagine those minutes are, those crucial information are missing, or even unprofessional language, that, or even recording the names of the person. So and so said this, so and so said this, but so and so objected, but so and so counter objected, so and so, that kind of language is not allowed in minutes writing. Unless somebody says, for the record, I want it to go to the record, this is what I said. Unless that was said, then you can record the name of the person. We always say, you only record the name of a person when you are reporting the task was assigned to Mr. So and so, the chair of this. But all along you say, the chair proposed this, the members were of the opinion this, it was agreed this. Okay? That is the language. And later on we shall talk about that. Now, mistake number 3, very, very important, is writing minutes during the meeting. Secretaries writing minutes during the meeting. And most secretaries do the minutes during the meeting. This has been my observation, that most secretaries will do minutes during the meeting. And what does this do to the meeting? They end up missing out. They actually end up missing out on, they end up missing important information that needs to be there. Okay? They end up missing it, and missing it very, very badly. So during the meeting, we say to the secretary, write short notes that summarizes what is being done. Just take short notes. Okay? And then immediately after meeting, please, secretary, sit, write the minutes well, preferably not after 3 days, because you have forgotten what was said. Mistake number 4, omitting critical information. A secretary who uses the wrong format of doing minutes will miss critical information, making the organization again to be confused, to be paralyzed. Now, we list 5 important information that needs to be in the minutes. Number 1, there need to be date of the meeting, time, place of the meeting. Write the date, January 10th, 2023 at 10 p.m. at the venue. Write the venue. Okay. Number 2, critical information, list of attendance. List of attendance in accordance with their rank. We begin with the chair, then vice chair, then the secretary. Some format would allow the secretary to be the last one, and write taking minutes. Okay, in the absence of both vice secretary and secretary, the person who is taking the minutes should write his or her name the last in the list and say John Kimani taking minutes. Okay, so ranks are very important. Okay, so the chair should be number one, vice chair, the secretary, the vice secretary, the treasurer. Then if they are other officers, maybe the chair for finance, maybe the chair for missions, maybe the HOD academics, maybe the HOD, I don't know, HOD according to their ranks. Okay, very, very important. Number 3, list of persons who did not attend the meeting with apology. Again, the rule of the thumb is according to their ranks. The persons who tabled their apology, that list needs to be captured. Okay, number 4, the list of persons who did not attend the meeting without apology. Those who did not attend the meeting without apology, again from the senior to the least junior. Okay, and then number 5, critical information is a summary of what was discussed, resolutions that were made, key actions to be taken, and the key persons who were assigned to do those actions. That is very important. A summary of what was discussed, resolutions that were made, it was agreed, the assignments was attached to so and so. That is very, very important. Okay, so don't miss, if you're the secretary, to capture that critical information. It would be a big mistake. Mistake number 5 is the inability to secure records. Inability to secure records. The minute book, dear viewers, needs to be, it's a very confidential book. The minute book is a confidential book that should be accessible to only the authorized person. We are saying it should be kept under safe and lock, and this is the task of the secretary, to ensure that the minute book is secure. It should not be accessible to anybody. It should be secure. Mistake number 6, failing to capture the quorum issue. Yes, failing to capture the quorum issue. Before the minutes begin, it is important to establish whether the quorum is available. Quorum is defined as the smallest number of members that make it official to start the meeting. The smallest number of attendees to be present before the meeting can be official, or before decisions can be taken. In most cases, that number is normally the quarter of the total number of persons who should attend a meeting. For example, if a meeting, the full list of members should be 21, the quorum can be anything between 5 to 7. And we are saying each committee, each board should agree on at the initial stages the number of the quorum. Okay, we can as well as say, if we are 3 of us, we can transact business, but so and so must be in that meeting, because you do not want a scenario whereby the quorum is 5 but the chair is not around, the vice secretary, the whole executive is not around. That cannot be a quorum. So those things need to be captured, and the first assignment should be to establish whether a quorum is available. Okay, are we together? And let's remember that those who have made apologies form the part of the quorum. And we are saying if the quorum is not captured, if the quorum is not captured, someone can challenge the decisions made by the group. We did not have a quorum. Okay? Mistake number 7. Mistake number 7, reporting participants' comments. We've said it earlier on. As much as possible, don't report, don't record, Madam Secretary, Mr. Secretary, don't report what every participant said in every agenda. You know, we've gone to meetings where you've said, Mr. So-and-so said this, Mr. So-and-so said that, Madam So-and-so objected. That kind of very funny. Then the chairman said, but the secretary said, but the treasurer did not. No, we are saying instead, use this kind of language. Okay, use this kind of language. Some of the members were of the opinion that blah 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 blah, while some of the opinions were of the opinion blah 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 blah. After the deliberations, the following were agreed on: 1, 2, 3. And we are saying the only exemption to this rule, is when a particular member says, I want it to be on record. Okay? When the member says, I want it to be on record, then you can say, member so-and-so said this. Okay? And then the final mistake that we make during writing of minutes is this: failing to capture the agenda clearly. Failing to capture the agenda clearly. Every meeting has a list of agenda, and the following are very, very important. Okay? The following are very, very important. Have a list of agenda. Number 1, have a list of agenda. And we said this should be posted to members at least 7 to 14 days before the meeting. And this should be what has been agreed by the chair, the secretary, and the treasurer. Okay? Number 2, in the minutes, the agenda should be written. The agenda item within the minutes should be written in capitals. It should be bolded and underlined. Those 3 things. It should be written in capital letters. It should be bolded and underlined. It should bear the minute number. What type of meeting it is? Is it an AGM? Is it a special AGM? Is it an executive on an ordinary meeting? The agenda time, that is a month, and agenda time, and the month and the year the meeting took place. Now, for example, minute 174 / AGM 2023, that is the time, that is the minute. AGM is the type of the meeting. 2023 is the time the meeting was held, that is the year 2023. Then / right, hire of social media influencer, that is the name of the agenda item, / September 2023, that is the month the agenda was held. Okay? Each agenda number 3, each agenda item, under each agenda item we have said, write a summary of what was said. Write the summary of what was said. Now let's go with the example of the minute 174 / AGM 2023, hire of social media influencer / September 2023. Now this is just an example. of that minute, you can write this. The chair informed the members, given the growth witnessed in the school, there was need to hire a social media influencer. 2. A presentation on the roles, terms of references of social media influencer were tabled to the members by the head communications, Mr. Akili Mali. In bracket, for a detailed report, please refer to Annex 4, proposal to hire a social media influencer. Number 3. After discussions, the following were agreed upon. Number 1, A. The members agreed to hire a social media influencer within 6 months from the date of this meeting. B. Mr. Mari was tasked with pressing an advert on the social media and conduct the interviews. C. The executive, chair, secretary, and treasurer were to ensure the same is done smoothly. Now that is elaborate. If you look at that, you will see several things that it was agreed, and someone was tasked to do the minutes. Okay, are we together? Then let me give a bonus mistake. A bonus mistake. It's called insecurity. Insecurity, we are simply saying a meeting is an environment where there is free flowing of exchange ideas. Information is to flow freely. The chair in particular should reason to the contribution of the members without biasness, without interrupting them, without putting them down. The chair needs, when the chair speaks in a rude tone, or criticizes members' contribution, then there is a likelihood that the members won't show up for the next meeting, or they will remain silent. Okay? Well, there you go. I believe those are the top 8 mistakes. And let us recap, just in case you've not captured them. Mistake number 1, failing to provide copies of the minutes to the members. Number 2, writing biased minutes. Number 3, mistake number 3, writing minutes during the meeting. Mistake number 4, omitting critical information. Mistake number 5, inability to secure the records. Mistake number 6, failing to capture quorum issue. Mistake number 7, reporting participants' comments. Mistake number 8, failing to capture the agenda of the meeting. Okay, are we together? Well, that is Marketplace Believers, an online platform that engages, equips, and encourages believers to say inawezekana. If you are first on this platform, we encourage you to hit the subscriber button, to keep on sharing, so that we can grow the community. Remember, the only way we can reach a lot of people is when you hit the subscriber button and then you share this broadcast. My name is John Kimani, and until next time, when we shall bring another broadcast like this, we wish you a blessed week, and remember what you say, in a way.